One. Hey there! Welcome to Sneaking in the Green Room. I'm your host, Andrew KUSHNER, and each week I get to sit down with some of Portland's funniest comedians. Hell, let's be honest, these are some of the country's funniest comedians.
Nice.
Today I have a special treat. In the studio with me, Tiffany Greyson.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you are just an amazing comedian. I've seen you so many times and hilarious.
That's fantastic, thank you. It's a nice intro.
Oh, it's a decent intro. I had more to it. I think there was something else I wanted to say, but again, I have ADD horribly, and so I get lost.
Don't we all?
But thank you so much for coming in, taking the time out of your schedule to come meet with me. Does your agent know you're here?
No, it's a secret. It looks kind of porny in here.
It is very rapey, porny.
It really is. It's kind of scary. There's a toilet. You can't see it. There's a toilet in the corner.
I imagine there might be some Wilt Chamberlain DNA on these.
Yeah, I was a little bit cautious. I wiped my side down with some hand sanitizer.
Oh boy.
So we're safe.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is.
It is.
This is a beautiful studio, though, I must say. My manager is very nice to allow me to use this. But enough about me. Tiffany, what's going on? How's life treating you?
Great. I've been super busy. Everything's been wonderful. It's we're finally heading into the fall, and schedule's beefing up, and trying to keep my calendar straight. It's been wonderful.
I don't have a calendar. I just kind of free flow it and hope that I get everything done that I need to.
How do you keep track of your schedule?
Everything's in my head.
Really?
Everything, yeah.
You're one of those smart guys.
No, it's not at all. I forget a lot of things. And so, yeah, that's just the way it goes. Look, Tiffany, where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I was born in Salem, Oregon.
I'm an Oregonian.
I am an Oregonian.
Not many comedians I've
I
met.
don't think a lot of us are proud about Salem. But
I love Salem.
Salem's okay. Salem's okay. And then when I was young, I moved to California. We grew up. So I grew up in Sacramento, and then I moved to Truckee, California, and then back to Sacramento. And then when I was 18, I had $200. So I thought, I've got the world in my hand.
Oh yeah, big bucks.
So I packed up my whole car and drove to Portland, and I've been here ever since.
Now, why Portland? Was there any specific reason?
Well, my dad lived up here, and although at the time we weren't really close, I just decided that I really enjoyed Portland, so I thought I'd take a swing at it, and 18 years and counting.
Wow, that's impressive. I'm at 8 years. I moved up from Southern California.
Oh, okay.
What was it? 2006, I think it was.
Whereabouts in California?
Glendale, California, which
Okay.
is right next to Burbank, and I lived in Burbank for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hell on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rough place.
Yeah.
Not rough, but just not fun.
Yeah.
I got tired of, the self-absorbed people, not having a lot of money. That was a big issue. I think if I had money, I would have been great. I could have been just like them. But
How do you feel in Portland when you don't have money? Because I think it's more embraced to be broke.
when I first moved here, I loved it. I thought, man, I can get by doing nothing. And all of a sudden, it's all caught up and before I know it, bam, my rent has doubled. I am now poor again. Yeah, I was doing really well 6 years ago, and not anymore.
That's a hard one because I think a lot of people's rentals are going up.
Oh, huge. We moved, when I first came up here, I lived in North Portland, in an area that a lot of people were like, oh man, that's kind of a scary neighborhood. We ended up got pushed out. They raised our rent in a horrible house to like $1,900 a month from $1,100. And, it was just insane. I mean,
It's a huge chunk.
it's a huge chunk, but at the same time, it's just like, what are you thinking? I mean, where are these people going to go? And they went to Vancouver and Gresham, and so my mom moved to Vancouver. She still lives there. I live Southwest. How did this become about me again?
I'm really good at that.
Jeez, that was
Sorry.
amazing.
My bad.
No, but you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, you're back in Portland.
I am.
How old are you at this point?
I'm 41. I'll be 42.
Well, no, not
January
now. I meant.
3rd.
when you moved
Sorry.
back up.
I was 18 when I moved here.
18. Okay, so wow. Jeez, and did you know that you were going to be a comedian? Did you know you were?
No, not at all. I didn't have any idea. It wasn't until probably 2008 that it even started even like popping in my head at all. And even then, for like the next 4 years, it was, no, 3 years, it was probably just like this fleeting thing that kind of was sitting in the back of my head. And I had some events that happened in my life, and I got to a place to where I had free time in the evenings. And I thought, oh my God, on my deathbed, what am I going to be proud of myself about? And I thought, I've got some time and I can make this happen.
That's the way I kind of, it happened to me this year. I was 30, I don't even want to say it. I'm middle-aged.
I said, I'm 41.
I know.
You can say it.
I'm 39.
Okay,
I'm 39.
You look great.
Yeah, thank you. You do too.
Thank you.
I think we look amazing.
We are amazing.
5, genetics.
Yes.
Look at that. Well, I gotta say mine is from not doing anything and having no responsibilities for 20 years.
Okay.
It helps to, no manual labor. Yeah, what was I talking about? My ADD just completely flung me around.
We were talking about what brought us to comedy.
Yeah, anyway, 39, yeah. And so, yeah, I had my midlife crisis, and I'm like, I gotta get on a stage, I gotta try it and see if it works, and I'm fucking addicted. It is, I've done a lot of drugs in my time. It's a big high. Yeah, no, it is. And it's dangerous. Yeah, but I love it. And so, you're 18, you're in Portland. What were you doing? Were you raising a family? Were you married? What were you doing?
I was finding out that I was pregnant. So when I got up here, I found out I was a little bit pregnant, and so then I carried on, and I have a son now. He's now 22.
Nice.
So that was a lot of work.
What's his name?
His name is Devin.
Yes. Does he love what you do for a living?
You know, he just saw my set for the first time on October 31st. I did the bacon cut at the Panic Room.
Oh yeah, Ray McMillan show.
Yes, exactly. And he was at my show, and in fact I posted about this. He said to me after my set, he goes, I'm more proud than disappointed. Which I think is the funniest thing to say.
That's a great compliment.
He's a great kid, and we have the same sense of humor, and that's his way of telling me he loves me, so it was so good. It was perfect, and I needed that moment with him, so it was great.
That's cool. That's very nice. Yeah, my mom was hilarious growing up, never did any stand-up comedy, but I really think, looking back at it, she should have tried. I mean, she was real funny. But it rubbed off to me, and now I get to do the bombing for her. You know.
You're taking one for the team.
Oh yeah, I go up and see my mom, once or twice a week, and I'll try out some new jokes on her. And she shakes her head at me. She does not feel funny.
Whereabouts did you travel to see her?
Vancouver. She's
okay.
just over the bridge.
And you only go twice a week?
Yeah, it's a difficult run.
Coming from a mom, I just want to say,
My sister lives with her. She handles that.
Okay.
Plus, I can only deal with my parents for 2 days a week, and my dad maybe 2 days a year at most.
Are they still together?
No, they're not. But he's gonna be watching, and he's gonna be like, "What an asshole."
That's okay.
Yeah, I love you, Dad. I do.
I love
2
you
days
too.
a year is more than enough.
Sure,
it goes both ways.
Is that like Christmas and Thanksgiving, or?
It's random. It's usually.
Oh, is there whatever?
He lives in San Francisco, so
okay.
I should see him more. But
there's so many good comedy things happening in San Francisco. You need to go visit.
Eventually, I will take a road trip. I will. Man, this is just a free-flowing interview here. So, when did you do your first comedy? When did this happen?
My very first time on stage.
Well, before we get there,
okay.
so when did you get into comedy? I mean, have you been watching stand-up your whole life?
My parents were completely inappropriate, and TV was always on, and there was no channels that were barred from my viewing at all. I was a feral child, doing whatever I wanted to mostly. But one of the shows that we always had on comedy was always going, or something live comedy, but there was always stand-up comedy was always on TV.
Very nice. And so I'm sure you grew up with the Saturday Night Live and Comedy Relief. I remember back when I don't know, that was like HBO stuff.
Well, we're about the same age, so yeah.
We are, exactly. And so, I mean, you were a fan of comedy. You've always kind of it's been in the back of your mind.
Always.
And so, when did you write your first joke? I mean, when did you say, this is going to be funny, I want to try this out on a stage?
Honestly, my very first joke I didn't write until I started that class. I did not have any jokes prepared
Oh.
because I didn't know how to do it.
We didn't. You told me something. You did a class at
The Brody
the Brody
with Tom Johnson. And
I love Tom. He's amazing.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. I like that he's kind of reserved.
Very reserved, but if you get on his bad side, I've seen him throw a couple people out of Brody.
Ooh.
He becomes like the man.
I could see that.
Yeah, you do not want to mess with Tom.
Yeah, no, I do.
After he's had a couple of his beautiful whiskeys, I see him walking around with. He's living a good life. He's happy.
I could see that. I'm glad.
Definitely. But you did a class at Brody?
I did a class, and it wasn't until I came in like, I want to say a class late, or maybe I did make the first class, but I didn't sign up until that day, because it was like, should I do it, should I not? And I was having this panic moment, because it's scary.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of getting on stage is very, very, very frightening until
yeah.
you've done it a lot. So I signed up for this class very last minute, and it was like 3 hours from now I'm going to be going to this class. So I went to this class and we had this conversation, and I think there was a bunch of people that had gotten the pre-information that they had to get on stage that day, and I didn't have anything prepared, so I didn't go. So I had to prepare for the next week, and that was the most panicky week of my entire life.
Sure.
But my first couple jokes, they hit, and it was so like you said, it's a rush, it's a high.
No, it's amazing. And
Yeah.
even when you bomb, there's this high that you get, like, as you start to get, well, I don't know, you probably have never bombed, but when I bomb, I get the sweats. I start to feel my heart rate, go up. And there's almost a high to it too. There's a weird, and I bask in it. Whenever I'm bombing, I kind of pull out my worst jokes and see if I can bomb as bad as I can.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I've
awful.
never heard that theory.
I just started getting that way recently.
Okay.
But I don't bomb all the time.
No.
But when it happens, I bomb really good.
Go big or go home.
Exactly. And so, did you have a bomb experience?
I've seen people bomb like the whole time. I've had jokes that don't hit, but I want to say that I've never bombed. I had a couple moments in class where I decided not to go off my jokes and just kind of riff the whole time, and I had a lot more that didn't hit. But that was almost for my experience of, look, not everything went perfect and everything was okay.
Yeah.
Nobody is gonna remember that time.
Exactly.
You have to get past that failure. It's a baseline. It's fine. Take a big breath. You're a big girl, big boy, whatever. Tomorrow morning, you're still gonna wake up.
Yeah, I haven't jumped off a bridge yet. I mean, I have thoughts about it, but not from comedy. No, not from bombing.
Okay.
No,
Well,
from
don't do it
other
anyway.
things.
Don't do it.
No, I wouldn't. That's.
Call me. We'll talk. We'll go get coffee.
I'm good with the suicide, luckily, and that's knock on wood.
Yeah.
It's not even a funny thing to joke about, especially with comedians.
We're very depressed as a group.
We're in touch with our emotions.
Well, are we more depressed as a group, or do we just talk about it more?
I think we're willing to open up and feel that depression, and I think discuss it with others and in a public forum where we can talk about our worst, saddest moments. And I think to be able to open up like that, you've had to have been through some shit.
Yeah.
And
That's a good point.
yeah, I mean, I'm not mentally well all the time,
Right.
but who is?
No one.
No, and I think it's the insanity that keeps you sane.
Right. I love
that was weird.
I love that we're talking about it, because I think not talking about it creates shame and hidden agendas, and we're trying to look like something that we're not. And I think discussing it is really important and critical, actually, to keep us safe.
Totally, and there's forums. I mean, if you go online, there's every comedian, is not afraid. We will go online and say, what we're feeling, and so don't hold back. If you're feeling depressed, if you're sad, just let someone know. You've got friends. We've all been through it. This kind of took a dark turn here.
It's one of those things, and I'm sorry if I said.
No, I think I have a tendency to push towards the dark. I've experienced a lot of death in my life, and it's made me who I am.
Yeah.
So I don't.
And we're glad you are who you are.
Thank you, and I'm glad you are who you are, Tiffany.
Thank you.
So I know you've gone on the road recently. I'd seen you in Humboldt County at a huge show down there.
That was amazing. That was Savage Henry Comedy Fest. It was my very first comedy fest.
Great magazine.
And I write for Savage Henry as well. And if I could do
Many talents, huh?
Thank you.
Wow.
If I could do comedy fests for my entire life, I would do it. because I literally had a tear driving home because I was like, that is the life.
Yeah.
And as much as like the group, the other comedians and I are not always the same. Like one of these kids is doing her own thing, and it's me. I don't smoke pot.
No pot.
I'm just not. I don't fit into the Humboldt County folk. But it was, and I'm young. I'm older. They're quite a bit younger than I am. But it was still such a blast, and I would do it again. And I'd love to do another, and then another, and then another.
It looked amazing. I've seen the pictures of that bathe, running around. And,
yeah, he's great.
Oh, amazing, great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so my family actually, I have half of my family's from Humboldt area.
Oh, okay.
Ferndale and Eureka. And
Oh.
they are totally against pot. They're complete right wing, and yeah, I grow it for a living. So not really, they don't love my choice of profession, but oh well.
You're doing it in a legal state. There it's not legal, yet it's probably more prevalent.
It is, and I think there's a big disconnect. There's the educated people in that area feel like, oh, the hippies are, they're just idiots, and so you don't want to be labeled as a stoner if you're educated. I don't know.
The two are exclusive. They're not.
Well, I love them. No, and I
I
respect it. It is what it is. But I mean, I go down there and I'll take a motorcycle ride around the neighborhood, and trees, just marijuana plants everywhere, like I've never seen. That's not true. I've been seeing them here too. 'Cause we are legal now.
Yes, we are.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
It may be tough on my business,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, it's a good thing for people. If I need weed, I don't have to call anybody. I don't have to wait and go right into a dispensary.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a lot of money. It's a waste of money.
Yeah, I just don't.
But you don't smoke pot. I remember you said you had hit a dab recently, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did it on accident, kind of.
Oh, this is television. I hope you're not going to get in trouble.
No, it was an accident. I was.
Oh, an accident. You fell into the dab rig, huh?
Yes.
And it just.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I know that I don't have a lot of tolerance for marijuana, and marijuana typically makes me throw up. But to me, a dab was like, I thought it meant like a dab of marijuana, so a little tinier chunk of marijuana,
tiny
which is not
hit.
the same.
No.
So I took and I didn't know what I was doing, but I took a
It's
really
like 100 tiny hits.
Yeah,
at once.
it was a rough night, but I am a lucky lady, and Patrick Thomas Perkins
Oh, yeah.
and Seth Milstein, they were my heroes for the evening.
Oh, I took care
They
of
made sure I was safe. They made sure I knew that I was safe, and they just made sure that
you
I was
gentlemen
never
are
alone.
heroes. Heroes.
And I've told the story 1,000 times that they totally took care of me and made sure I was safe and made me feel like I was safe, which was critical. It was great.
Yeah.
Is if you were ever going to have a really bad trip, then you want those guys making sure you don't die.
I've had some ex-girlfriends who had some awful trips on, not dabbing, but edibles.
Oh.
And I had one girlfriend wake up and scream she was dying.
Oh.
And it was a bad one.
So how did you handle that?
I just dealt with it for like 3 hours of her screaming she was gonna die.
Oh.
Eventually she
Can you give her something
got
to soak,
quiet.
give her a potato? Doesn't that soak it up or something?
I was tired. I was just laying in bed, and
You're the worst boyfriend ever.
I am awful. I am awful. They say
And she was
chivalry.
pregnant, and I think that's the worst part. No, I'm just joking.
She was not pregnant, thank God. But they say chivalry is dead, and I think it's not dead. It's just in a dark, deep coma.
You're really lazy to have that.
I used to be amazing. I was the romantic. I would, do all kinds of amazing things, and
Why not anymore?
tired.
You're tired.
Just tired.
Okay.
Just tired. I'll do it for dogs,
Oh.
but humans it's hard.
Well, I think humans need to be responsible for some of their own actions, and I think that's why I was impressed with the guys when they took care of me, because I was just so embarrassed. I just wanted to crawl into myself and just say, leave me alone and just make sure nobody kills me. But,
I'm sure that's rough. I've been smoking weed 21, 22 years every day.
wow.
I recently took a break for 3 days.
How was it?
I lost my ATM card
Uh-huh.
in the ATM machine.
Oh.
Yeah, some people are not meant to be sober, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, my road rage became just obscene.
Really?
Yeah, obscene. And I think I needed more than 3 days. That's what I was told. You need to do like maybe a
What
month.
were you trying to clean up from? Was it so for like a job interview or something?
No, just been 21 years of smoking every day, and I figured let's try and see if we can take 48 hours off. And then it became 72, and then I finally said it's time to smoke. Yeah.
How was that first hit after so much?
It wasn't that great. It was just a little stronger than normal, but nothing special.
You know what I quit recently? I started eating vegan. So I quit dairy and all meats.
Oh, I've been wanting to do that. I'm very close to being. I can go without meat. You know, that's not a problem. But I love cheese.
I have to tell you,
I love bread.
I quit smoking before, and it was much harder to quit cheese and dairy. I had the body aches for about a week.
Oh yeah, no, I've quit anti-anxiety medication. I've quit cigarettes after 17 years. I've quit a lot of stuff, and nothing comes close to food. Nothing. No, I have a horrible addiction to lots of carbs, and right now I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Man, we've just kind of been going all over the place. I like this. Too ADD.
I know.
Yeah, it's just go.
I didn't take my meds.
Do you take Adderall?
I do take Adderall.
You know, I took it for 2 years, and I recently quit about 3 months ago.
Oh boy.
I'll still use it if I need to clean
Sure.
the house and get a little amped up. But oh man, I felt like it made my ADD worse. Is that weird?
That is weird because that's not what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's supposed to let you focus, and in fact, sometimes when I take it, I take a little nap. It's just because, I just need the.
Well, my therapist was telling me that she has patients that she prescribes to take at night, a little stimulant, and I'm like, no, I'll be up all night just talking to myself in my sleep.
Gnawing your teeth down.
Gnawing my teeth down, just stressing out on every possible scenario. You gotta love pharmaceuticals though.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to them. I think they're meant. I'm kind of doing some soul searching right now with going vegan, and I don't want to say I am vegan. I want to say I'm eating vegan because I really like my foods.
Those are beautiful.
Thank you. But I am trying to eat healthier, and it is helpful for the environment. There's so many positives. But I'm trying to evaluate medications and what am I putting in my body, and what am I exposing, what am I cleaning with, and all those things that I probably should have been paying attention to years ago that I've ignored. But slowly but surely
I
trying
haven't
to.
gotten there yet. I think I need to evaluate, take some, notes, or what do they say? Taking your inventory.
Taking your personal inventory, your footprint in life, and I've also been going through my house and purging a lot of stuff, trying to make my life simpler.
That's a great thing, I think.
It's a lot of work, and it makes me really tired.
Well, I mean, you don't need weed though.
I don't.
Yeah, you get tired that way. Yeah, I think for me, weed is, I'm self-medicating. I'm definitely trying to find the right medicine to relax me and make me calm.
Are we supposed to be relaxed?
I don't think so. I think, I always was told, hyperactivity is so bad, but maybe we are meant to be able to multitask and have all these thoughts going on.
Our bodies are doing what they're supposed to do based on evolution, and unfortunately have evolved a little bit faster than I think our bodies have been able to. Because back in the day, we needed to be able to farm 13 hours a day, and that would have been put to good use, don't you think?
100%. No, it makes a lot of sense. But I am horrible when it comes to my diet and just overall health. I recently had carpal tunnel surgery on both wrists.
Ooh, let me see your scars.
At 39.
Oh, if I did, would it hurt?
Yeah. But I have some burns on my hand too. Being out of control.
Oh, I did see it on Facebook. The blisters?
Yeah, I was doing some experiments in my laboratory.
Man, you need to be careful.
Yeah, it's one of the byproducts of being a scientist or a amateur scientist. Yeah. Well, we're getting close to the end here. This has been fun.
I didn't mean to take you off.
No, you've been great. I wanted to, also just ask you, you'd already given us such great input. Young comics getting started, females. Did we already discuss? I think we might have, but at the same time, give them a tip. Give them, Tiffany Greyson. Help out these young women who are funny, and need a voice and are afraid to get out and
No, don't be afraid. Reach out. I think there's a lot of resources. Here in Portland, there's a lot of women comedians that are very supportive of each other. I think reach out to the groups on Facebook or at the forums. Super supportive. Reach out to me. Reach out to any one of us, and we'll either help you or get you going in the right direction. We'll meet with you in a safe place, but go out. Don't miss the open mics. There's always guys that are in the safe place. There's a lot of gentlemen that will make sure that you make it to your car safe.
Absolutely.
But definitely don't hesitate on getting on stage, because I think that's the first step.
You're an angel. That
No,
was so
no,
nice
you're
of
an
you.
angel.
Oh,
You're an angel.
I don't know about that. I try though.
You're wonderful.
Well, Tiffany, this has been so much fun. Where can people find you if they want to get a hold of you? Or?
Find me on Facebook, Tiffany Greyson. That's Greysen. And also Twitter. I'm on Twitter. But
Doing
ring
anything
out.
big in December?
In December. Oh, I do have stuff in December, but I can't remember. Oh, I'm doing something. I'm doing the summit in Bend.
Oh, there you go. That's a great show.
That is a great show. It'll be my second time hitting that show up, and then I'm also doing Spilt Milk next week, and that's Joanne Quinn's show, and I'm also doing. I don't know. I just have stuff
You were so
happening.
busy.
I am busy.
I'm so lucky that you came on the show.
I'm so lucky that you brought me on your show.
Well, Tiffany, thanks again.
Thank you.
This has been my
My
pleasure.
pleasure.
Folks, get out there, see Tiffany. She is hilarious. She's brilliant, and I kind of love her.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you. I'm gonna be back.
She's a special comedian.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, folks, this has been another great episode of Sneaking in the Green Room. I got to thank Tiffany again for taking the time out of her busy day to come and visit us. And we're going to be looking for you out there. Hopefully we see you doing more big things and
Love to see you guys.
making people giggle.
I certainly hope so.
Oh, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Folks, have a great night.
Thank